ask you guys, what do you think? I want you to give me an example of a game you want to launch with the next Switch. And what do you think it's going to be called? So I'm going to go with you, Frankie. What do you think?
Pretty sure I saw a video for Pokemon ZA.
What?
Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm pretty sure it's like a hint at the next console. I just saw it this morning, yesterday, something like that.
I haven't heard about this.
And it could totally have been fan base type made stuff. I was not paying attention. I just watched the video.
I'm gonna look that up.
And it's a total teaser because it's like written in Pokemon language and then has like subtitles in it. It was something.
Announcement. A new adventure set within Luminois City will launch on Nintendo Switch systems in 2025.
See?
It was just posted today.
Oh, I knew I saw it at some point. It just
weird.
Some sort of Mario game. Probably a reboot or something of like Mario Kart, Mario Wii U. It's one of those games. I'm pretty sure will be a launch one. They might do a what's the word I'm looking for? Remake, not remake, but a remaster of like Breath of the Wild.
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think is going to be called, Frankie?
The Switch 2?
Just the Switch 2, huh?
No. Nintendo's going to be
weird.
Yeah.
The Switch U?
No, they're going to be like Switch Squared.
The Switch Squared with a little T.
Yeah. First off, the GameCube intro little music was probably one of my favorite like game boot screens.
Okay. Switch Squared.
Yes, Switch Squared. Some sort of Me box.
That sounds like a.
Because remember they tried the whole Me characters.
Yeah, and they're somehow still around.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. They're gonna make it uniquely Nintendo, whatever it is.
Okay, how about you, David? A game you want to see on the next Switch launching with it, as well as the name.
That I want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. What I really want to see.
Yeah. What do you want to see?
What I really want to see. What I really want to see.
Oh God.
Is an updated version of Wind Waker HD.
Yes.
Get that out of the Wii U prison. Break it free of the Wii U prison.
Same thing with Twilight Princess HD. I need that out there. Like, I'm on the same boat, and we've been hearing about that dual pack for literally 2 years, and people say it's real. I believe it's real, but I think they're holding it off. They're like, we're gonna just grab it out of their butt and come.
I swear, I thought he was gonna say Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah, I know. I thought that too.
It's the.
He wants
He's
to.
pulling his hair out.
He wants to say it, but he doesn't want to be acknowledged that he wants to say it.
I want it. I want it, but it's never gonna happen.
Wow.
I mean, I'm never gonna say never. But
dude, listen, we got Kirby's Forgotten Land or whatever it's called, a 3D platformer Kirby. Kirby's their guy they like to experiment with. We had Dream Course in the 90s. We had constant constant examples of Kirby being their experimental boy.
Yep.
I think I would not be surprised, David, especially with Dream Course back on the Switch Online service. If we get some form of Dream Course later on, I don't think it's going to be like give me Paper Mario OG again, but it's going to be a new Dream Course type of game. I feel like Kirby's going to get another one.
That's the thing is
like we're not going to get the racing one, but we'll get your Dream Course.
That's what I want to see is some type of updated new Kirby golf game that retains the test your friendship spirit of the original. But expands it to where you can do a little more. I love how he says
test your friendship when he knows
he's broken friendships.
He's broken friendships purposefully.
Well, what I'll say about it is growing up playing it with my brothers, it was like.
Are you still brothers?
Cutthroat competition.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, there's
like
brothers.
Cutthroat competition.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I've seen you and Matt play it, and it's like
Jacob.
Oh,
Jacob is no better. Not even a little bit.
Because I've witnessed them play it, and I'm like, dang, this is like, wow. This is like me and my sisters playing Fusion Frenzy. Like we are going at it. Like we are like tearing each other apart. Anyway.
But yeah, the spirit of that game is so it's so unique, and that's what I really don't have high hopes for that ever to happen. But since we're going with what I want to see, I admit it. That is what I want to see. That's what I want to see. But realistically, what it's going to be is they're gonna drop a new Mario game. Oh, yeah. That's what they're gonna do.
We're talking 3D or 2D.
Yeah,
because we just had Wonder. That was 2D.
I'm thinking a successor to Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe not Odyssey 2, but something that is billed as the successor to that.
Mario Maker
what I'm
3D. That's what
we're gonna get a crossover game. It's gonna be Mario and Zelda.
Crossover game. Okay. You're starting to sound like some like speculators I listen to online.
It will happen at some point.
It'll happen.
Outside of
we've
Smash
had it
Bros.
Happen in Smash Bros. And Mario
it
Kart. So.
Technically happened in Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
There's Link is sleeping in a bed in one of the towns.
Oh, I did not know. That's cool. I thought it was like one of the Dark Nuts or something. Or
no. Yeah, there's Link is literally sleeping in a bed in one of the towns in.
What happens when you go up and you prompt it and it tells you? Like this
little
boy is a hero.
No, I can't remember what happened. It's more like.
Wait, did the Link to the Past did that come out before Mario RPG or after?
I want to say before.
Were they teasing A Link to the Past?
No. They came out before Mario RPG.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Mario RPG, if I remember correctly, was released late in the Super Nintendo's life cycle. Because despite looking ugly as sin, it was it was definitely featured more like demanding graphics than most. It
was a good looking game. Not bad. Yeah. Same with like Donkey Kong and stuff, but. What do I want to see? I want to see like what I want to see, and it's not going to happen, is a new 2D Donkey Kong game. I know Retro Studios is working on Metro Prime 4 and they're just slaving away at it, and it's never going to be released maybe, but one can dream that a Donkey Kong game, a new 2D Donkey Kong could be released. I think they'll eventually get to it, but we're not going to see that until like way into the Switch 2's life cycle. But what I think they could bring is I think they could do. I feel like we're going to get a new Mario Kart either at launch or later, but I feel like it's coming. I feel like we're going to get a new Mario Kart at some point. Yeah. And I do feel like it's not going to be at launch, but I feel like they are going to revamp Smash Bros. Somehow. And they're going to bring it like back to basics. And it's going to be like, kind of like how Street Fighter does every cycle. They redo it and they redo the characters and they redo a bunch of different things. You're not going to get Snake or anything, but I will tell you what is going to be their launch. There's going to be a port of some kind. I know for a fact. I don't know for a fact. I don't have nobody in Nintendo. My uncle works at Nintendo or with some of these devs, but what I will say is I think we're going to see a port of like Star Wars Outlaws or, for example, Avatar Pandora's whatever it was called.
Frontier.
What?
Isn't it like Frontier?
Yeah, Pandora Frontier, or whatever it's called. I feel like Ubisoft is going to take one of those things and they're going to port it to the Switch. No.
If Nintendo's smart and they go that route, the Switch 2 is going to launch with a port of something like an older game that's really popular. Like the same way in which Skyrim came to the first Switch.
Oh, that's what they're going to do. It's going to be Cyberpunk. Maybe not at launch, but could you imagine like what December is like the release date anniversary for like Cyberpunk, right? That came out in 2020. So they could be like for the 5th anniversary, we're porting it to Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever. So that could be like late 2025.
I think Cyberpunk's going to be too
No, I think they could do it, dude. For the hardware I'm looking at and the hardware I'm looking at some of these like old, like these PCs I'm putting together. I'm like, Cyberpunk can absolutely run on the Switch 2. 100%. It can run on the Xbox One. It 100% is going to run on the Switch 2.
It could not run on the Xbox One.
It can technically.
It fried
at
a bunch
22
of them.
frames a second, but
that's not running.
We're not going to bother with that.
That is walking.
Dude, but it makes sense. The Witcher 3 was on the Switch. They somehow magically put it on there.
They cut
They cut so many corners.
Yeah.
Same with Hogwarts Legacy.
I mean, The Witcher 3 was already a corner cut game to begin with.
Correct.
The tech demos we got of The Witcher 3 were mind-blowingly insane. And then when the game released, I was like, oh, it doesn't look nearly as good.
That's
David, I'm so
that's
proud of
because
you
no.
for bringing that
It's because you played it on consoles. Number one, okay. Number two,
it ran on the Xbox One as well.
really crappy ports. We talked about this last time where they're developing games for the x86 architecture for consoles and then porting it to PC, which means PC ports suck buttholes when they used to be really good. Because remember, you go back 10, 15 years and you could do like a PS3 versus PlayStation, and it was just miles different on how good a game would look on PC. And now it's like not that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The Witcher 3 just suffered from being basically developed for consoles.
You
Yeah.
know what? I just found out the Yakuza games are finally starting to find their way on Switch. And the first one's coming out actually legit this month in October. I did not know that. I can imagine them just porting them all over to Switch and then Switch 2 and just keep going from there. I don't think there's going to be any forward compatibility. Like if you buy it on Switch 2, you'll be able to play it on Switch.
No.
They'll put it on Switch, but then you can play them on Switch 2 or something. Right. I think kind of like PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
Also compatibility, backwards compatibility. This has been debated the last couple of years if there is or isn't going to be. What do you guys think, and what's your argument for backwards compatibility or not having it?
I think they're going to keep it because it has to do with system architecture, number one, and then it has to do with format of the software and whatever their OS is. And they've kept a pretty good cohesiveness between the Wii into the Wii U into, not that you could use the disc from a Wii U, but the games, they brought the games over to the console, and they may not be, backwards compatible, so to speak, but they did port it over and bring it with it. So wow. I think a lot of it will be quote unquote backwards compatible, whether or not they port the same games over or you do have access. And I think with the format of the little mini cartridges and online store purchases, I think you're going to have a little bit better cohesion than from Wii U to Switch.
I think there's going to be full on backwards compatibility because Nintendo's really good about doing that. Like the Wii, the OG, the original Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube. Of all things.
I do remember that.
Yep. And then the Wii U was backwards compatible with the Wii.
It literally had the entire Wii system on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the GameCube also, too. The Wii went so far as to include GameCube controller ports, GameCube memory card slots. Yeah. So I could easily see that even if the Switch 2
had the SP compatibility with games and
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I can easily see that even if they don't keep the same little mini card format for the games, I could easily see them having a little slot on the new Switch where you can put in your old Switch games and play them.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you guys. I've heard the argument on the internet that they might not include backwards compatibility. They might be selfish and steal your money. And it's like, because you guys just destroyed that argument. Because if you get full backwards compatibility, they can still resell Mario Kart 8, Breath of the Wild, all this kind of stuff. And speaking of Breath of the Wild, forgot to bring this up, but at Gamescom last year, there was a private demo showcased to developers of the next hardware and the capabilities of it. They showcased the DLSS support, which is their AI upscaling technology for NVIDIA. So upscale the resolution to 4K or what have you. And they also showed the fast speeds of the storage, like an SSD. So they actually demoed Breath of the Wild running on it, and it loaded in an instant, like lightning.
Oh, it's gonna be
so it's really cool. So they're gonna be like, hey, Breath of the Wild launch title, it's remastered for the Nintendo Squared or whatever we're calling it.
Yeah, I like that you're sticking. That one's sticking to you.
You know what, Frankie, you brought a really good point. I can already picture in my brain. They're gonna stick with the Switch name so they can pile that into sales.
Right.
They're gonna keep it backwards compatible. They're gonna say 2, David, but they're gonna call it Squared. It's gonna say 2 on the edge, like Nintendo Switch, and a little 2.
Yeah.
But they got to be careful that They have to make it noticeable enough and can't do a Wii U situation where they did a terrible job saying a Wii U is the new console.
Right.
People are like, oh, it's just a tablet, right? No, it's an actual console.
Right.
So they're going to figure that out. I'm going to have no worry about it. The argument I had for backwards compatibility is, have you seen who's leading Nintendo right now? It's not Iwata. It's this like very fancy, very well-learned old business guy that's running Nintendo, who's been running it for the entire Switch era, who's really business savvy and plays it really safe. They're not going to do backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of having that little 2 like on the corner and they call it squared.
Yeah.
That's something they're totally like, that's such a Nintendo move to do.
I don't know. I have a feeling that it's going to be called like, something weird in Japanese,
it definitely is.
like reference to like, I don't know, yuzu melons or something.
The Nintendo Yuzu? Is that why they're shutting down Yuzu emulator? Mm-hmm. Is that why they're doing that? Because they're going to call it the Switch Yuzu or whatever?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
What's that green Japanese liqueur?
Kanji.
No. What is it called?
I think I just sweared it. I think I just said an epithet in Japanese unintentionally.
Oh, what is it called? Freaking. It's so I literally have a bottle of it sitting in my room, and I
can't
grab
it.
Yeah,
do you crawl and
Google
grab it?
Google is right in front of you.
Midori, that's what it's called. Midori. So it's gonna be something like that because Midori is like Japanese for green.
Okay.
And it's a really bright green melon liqueur. So I think they're gonna do something like that. It's gonna be like some like a color or a concept, and it's just going to be like the Japanese word for that or a derivative of it, something really like lifestyle-y. I can really see them doing it. I don't know where I'm getting this, but this is what I see happening.
Like some sort of Zen feng shui type.
Yeah.
What if they do the Nintendo Labo thing, David, again? Like the cardboard thing where you have like VR glasses made out of cardboard and you could play Breath of the Wild in like 240p. You know what I'm talking about? They call that the Midori or whatever you call it.
Someone's going to get punched in the throat. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, so we're $400 price point. Probably first quarter of 2025. Makes sense. It's the same thing as well. They'll reveal it after Christmas sometime, is what we've established. And there's apparently going to be a Kirby Stream Course game. So
will be.
I think, David, you're right. There's going to be a Mario 3D Mario. I wouldn't be surprised. Frankie, what was one of the ones you said? I want to go back to that. What was one of the games you said will be a launch title?
I said some sort of Mario. I said
Mario and Zelda together.
I did mention Zelda later, but
you said something about like a remastered Zelda game or something like that, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, remastered Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
or some sort of Pokemon.
Okay.
Or a Mario. Literally their biggest IPs.
I could see Pokemon being there because that ZA thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Where did I have it here? We're building. No, I'd quit out of it. But that Legends thing, that makes sense because the last Legends game was like 2022, I think, in January of that year. And then they've been wanting to do another Legends type game. And I feel like this is
Arceus,
the next one.
right? Was the last one.
Arceus. Arceus was the last one.
Arceus.
So this makes... Is it not Arceus?
No.
Why is it called Arceus? Is it Japanese? What is it? No?
No,
is that not the way to say it? It's Arceus?
Yes.
Arceus?
Yeah, no, not chaos. KS.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I know
Arceus.
I feel like we had this conversation.
I feel like we have had too.
Yeah.
I need to talk to Lexi and correct her like you just did.
Yeah, it's not Arceus. I hate when I hear someone say Arceus because...
Okay, one more question about the Switch 2, and then we'll move on to
Arsane.
Instead
of Arcane.
Whatever. It's going to be a Pokemon game, a Mario game. I hope we get that dual pack of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess that's been rumored forever. I hope that finally happens because then that could be great.
Nintendo's really good. They're going to wait till you're
very last
breath
second.
of hope.
Yep.
And then you're like, it's never coming. And they're like, flowers.
That's
and then you're going to be the happiest thing ever. And you're going to spend all your money. You're going to buy 3 different copies, plus the DLC, plus collector's controller, and bam, they got you.
Here's a question for you guys. GTA 6 next year.
Nope.
Not going to be on the Switch too?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay,
No.
Frankie says hell no.
No.
David, what do you think?
Probably not.
Okay.
But that would be a baller move if they did.
Yeah, I would agree. It would be
What if
really
they release
cool.
GTA 5 on the Switch too?
See, that's actually what I was trying to think of a game that was really popular that's kind of older that they would port over to the Switch too, kind of the same way they did with Skyrim on the OG.
yeah.
And I think GTA 5, that's the one to do.
That'd be really cool to see. I think they could have done it with the Switch already. I think they could. That thing ran on 360, Frankie. Come on.
But they also updated the engine. It's not that they just.
that's true.
They didn't just,
You're right.
redid stuff. It's the
Which
whole
means it's
engine.
easier to port to the Switch.
It also requires. The Switch has 2 gigs of RAM.
That's true. I keep forgetting. No, it's 4. It's 4.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well,
it's 4.
2 were reserved for system.
I think it's like 6. And I think they have 4 to work with. I'm going to Google that right now.
Yeah,
Keep going,
I was
keep
going
going.
to say, I feel like it's pretty dang limited, and I don't think it was going to happen. I just don't think that there's enough power there.
I type in specs and it's not answering it right away, but that's okay. So no GTA 6 on the Switch. I think that makes sense. I mean, why not?
I mean, GTA 6 is probably not releasing next year anyway, or not
Really?
not early next year.
No. They said in 2025.
No.
They just don't know when.
No.
They
It's
know.
gonna-
They
it's
know
gonna
when
be
they're going to
late
do it.
It's going to be late 2025
Yep.
or it's going to be pushed back.
It's
I
gonna
think, yeah. Because, what was it? GTA 5 was September of 2013. And so they've always done a fall release, I believe, except for maybe
Yeah.
a Vice City or a San Andreas, maybe.
But 5 was pushed back.
If 5 was pushed back, you're
It was
correct.
originally supposed to be like an April-May release.
You got it. That's correct. Yep. It was supposed to be. I remember reading the Game Informer cover issue about
Yeah.
it.
I was super hyped and disappointed at the same time because I was pretty sure I pre-released it.
Oh, dang.
I
You
pre-ordered it
Yeah.
and went and picked it up at GameStop at 9:30 at night or whatever. 8:30. You get in line and wait until 9 o'clock where they open the doors because the East Coast was midnight and they could sell it legally.
Dang, Frankie, you're right. 4 gigs of RAM.
Dude, biggest weeb in this room. I'm not.
It's schooling us
Yeah.
on the specs of a
Just
Japanese
saying.
hardware.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, 4 gigs of RAM.